Well, I'm out in the garden and who knows, the tracks may run around here one day, but I've noticed the grass needs mowing, and that reminds me, mental health awareness has been in the news a lot lately, and I decided to face a few of my own fears because I believe getting to the root of the matter helps us all a great deal. I prefer cooperation and collaboration rather than cooperation and competition, which to me leads to the old world of divide and rule. I'm looking to the new world, and when I'm creating a model railway, I'm looking to cooperation and collaboration, not division. So I have decided to face my own fear, and there's nothing more liberating than being yourself. And so it's all right. So I faced it, and I have shaved my hair off for mental health. Not just that, for myself. A friend of mine asked me, how does it feel to have no hair? Liberating. And he said, no, I meant, how does it feel from sort of, is it cold? Props, masks and illusions become traps. I have an emotional attachment to hair, not all men do. Fears and illusions rob us of our freedom. And it goes back to being a child, and the compliments I took in and heard were all about my hair. So as it started to go, I realised that this brought up a lot of fear. And when I did a TV show back in 2005, and they put the bright light, white lights behind me and the cameras and the lights in front, I realised that since I'd been on before and I got to 2004-05, that my hair was starting to go. So I promised myself when I'd done that I would shave my hair off, and I never did. And so it's taken that long for me to get to the point where I'm at today. I was in Wales a couple of weeks ago. I walked into a cafe, looked in the mirror, and I realised the time had come. In darker, more subdued lighting, it wasn't too bad. I'd been using a product for hair. It's called Kabuki. You order it from the US, you can't buy it here, so don't try. That stuff doesn't work. This does work for small amounts of, if you want to use that, then it's great. And avoid the import duties, don't spend over 130 quid. So for 4 pots, it is about 128 quid or something like that. So it costs a lot of money too. So shaving my hair off has saved me on barbershop bills. I can now just go out anytime I want. I don't have to avoid bright lights. I don't have to sit against a wall because I'm scared someone might see that my hair has got a slight... I faced it head on and took the bull by the horns. And there's definitely a spiritual side to this journey for me as well. Had I not gone with Modeloco, when I'd listened to a song called Living La Vida Loca. Loca and loco means a bit crazy, you know, crazy in love or crazy. And I'm crazy about models, so Modeloco. And yeah, of course, the obvious two. And the two just went together. And I just wanted it all as one word because it looked neater. And that's why. But really, it would have been the spiritual modeler had not that been the case. I'm still a spiritual modeler. So some people might look at your model railway and think, wow, there's not a lot going on here. He's not made a lot of progress, but I'm making progress in leaps and bounds within by facing the fears and getting to the root of what makes me unhappy. And a big part of that is while I'm modelling like this. Modelling does make me happy, but if I don't sort out what's going on in here, then I'll never be happy out here. Out here won't solve things in here. You've got to go within to go without, you know, not without to go within. That's my philosophy on it anyway. And my next video will be all about, before you buy and jump in, knowing what there is out there, what there's available, and asking the right questions. Otherwise you'll end up spending loads of money on stuff you probably don't need, and you'll have to buy again later like I did. But the first thing I wanted to do was confront the world, because my first 50 videos, I've got hair. And from this point, there's no hair. And for some people, it can be a big change. And people have asked, oh, are you all right, Andy? And because it has an attachment to illness and things like that, of course, in the modern age. And so it was this that sustained my ventures into staying a little bit curly. In fact, the only remark that I removed from YouTube was one when somebody remarked that I should buy a comb and use it. That really hurt me. The person that said it probably had no idea. He just looked at me and thought, God, it's a bit of a mess. But I was trying to hang on to the curls that I once had back in 2002. That by 2004, 2005, when I saw myself on camera, I realised was slightly past their sell-by date. When God speaks, or whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's up to us if we face it or we just keep taking the rennies. If you want to talk to me about it or anything, because it's not always hair, it's not always that attachment that you've got and the fear that you've got. It could be something else. But once you do face those fears, all I can tell you from facing 3 major ones of mine, drinking and partying too much, the other was womanizing too much, and the third was my hair going. And now I've faced all 3, and each time I've always known that once I've faced it, I will feel a lot better for it by getting to the root and not continuing to use the kabuki, which is brilliant, by the way, and it's probably a good advertisement for them as long as you get the right colour. I used dark brown, that was the best for my hair colour, but I used black when I first started, so it's, like I said, great for little patches. But we are talking about modelling. Modelling will make us happy, and yes, if we can also use it to help us face our own fears instead of locking ourselves away. That was the choice for me. It was getting to that point. Sit in ever darker and darker rooms, or really face myself and get out there. Luckily, when I went up Simon's seat, I got away with it. Hi, my name's Andy and this is my channel Modeloco for all things model railway. And this stuff doesn't blow out. Had the wind been blowing the other way, it might have been a different story. I didn't want to do a comb over. I didn't want to wear a toupee. I didn't want to get one glued on. And I didn't want a hair transplant like Wayne Rooney or stuff like that. And it can look okay. But I thought, why not take the bull by the horns, face the beast, and then get on with your modelling. So that's what I've done. As I say, if you want to talk about it, please comment. Try and be kind, because you don't know what effect those comments can have. And you'll know, and people do know, you can have 28, 30 lovely comments, and the one negative one is the one that goes in, especially if it hits a fear. No fear anymore. I'm facing the world. And before I put this video out, I went into a room full of people that I know, and I went in with an Elvis wig on, and you've seen me with the Elvis wig, and I just pulled it off singing This Is Me with my guitar, which is there. And as a musician, hair and youth also has an attachment to being a musician, and some musicians do try and hang on and others don't. But if there's an emotional attachment to anything, I think that's when it can start to build up depression and mental health issues. I'm certainly a lot happier. I'm certainly a lot more content, and my life has just been a lot freer since. I can go in the shower now and just rinse my hair, have a cold shower if I want. It's so rejuvenating. When you choose to face your fears, you'll face them as and when. Sorry, my screensaver just came on. You'll face them at your own time and your own pace. It's not up to anybody else to tell you. It's when you feel right. It's not up to Mental Health Awareness Day to make you do it, but it can be a good catalyst. And I thought that's a good thing to toggle with it, as I did it virtually at the same time. Happy modelling is what I'm all about. Negativity can play its role, and that negative comment or that negative person or the bully, stop waffling, can be the one that forces you into action, forces you to face that fear. Because I don't believe medication is always the way out of these things. Yes, that's an option, but to fall on that and that alone, like the Rennies and the Gaviscons and the Kabuki, it's not always the answer to happy modelling. Give us a thumbs up, please subscribe, it won't hurt the bank balance, and that can be an issue too. Face your fears, go out into the world, this is you, this is me, and you can model any way you want. And what a great way to practice it first on a model railway. Learn about yourself, learn about how you can soon get excessively tempted into things that you might not want. Practice it out in a model railway before you go practicing it out in real life. That being said, I could talk for quite a long time about the subject, and thank you so much for tuning in. Happy modelling. and happy mental awareness. Not that we should give things labels. Sometimes people like labels. I don't like labels. I don't like division. I think there's a lot of problems in labeling something, because once you label a human being, it becomes an entity, doesn't it? We're human. You know, we have got feelings. That's part of being human. It's something we should embrace. Either that or AI will continue to tell us what to do and where to go and when to eat and when to jog and when to love and what's right and what's wrong. Well, love. No one's going to tell me how to love myself. I've got to learn how to do that. AI can probably point me in the right direction, but how does AI know that? Depends who's programmed it. I'm happy, and I hope you're happy too. Just about it for another one, and if you want to buy me a coffee, all great. If you want to join the Modeloco Hub, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It won't hurt the bank balance. And I think once we can move away from that Darwinian sort of survival of the fittest struggle and strain and go more into cooperation and collaboration rather than division and competition, then we'll all do a lot better. Until that day, I'm certainly building this into all my layouts. And when all things in our body are working in harmony, all the cells working together in cooperative collaboration, then we are dis-ease free. We're not feeling dis-ease. And so that is where I'm looking for this new world to go as I venture into my spiritual modeling journey, building 3 layouts in 2 scales. I may even do a bolt-on video to this one for members. If you want to become a member, that's fabulous too, helping me to help you to help others even more. And the choice is ours. Go that way, or this way. I've made my choice. All is well. Happy modeling.